Hi everyone, welcome to another one of my videos. This one is on Con, 6th grade, area of parallelograms. Um, our formula for area of parallelograms is the same as the area of rectangles, and we just went over some problems on dealing with the area of rectangles. In the area of rectangles, you'll see a couple different formulas. One of those is, like we see up here, area equals base times the height. The other one we'll see is area is equal to the length times the width. You'll see both those formulas for area of a rectangle. Now, we use the base times the height for parallelograms because length and width are referring to the sides of a rectangle. Base and height is specific here. Base is referring to one of the sides of a parallelogram, and the height, though, is specifically what we call the distance between one of the sides, the perpendicular distance between one parallel side and another parallel side. So like you see right here, this is the height for this one. And since this height's in, this one has to be the base. You could always put a height in here, and then these other ones would become the base. But you always, the height and the bases are always perpendicular. So this would be a base, and this would be a base, and those are the same length. And this height right here is always perpendicular to the bases. So you could actually put a little right angle. Usually they only have it in one spot, but you could actually put a little right angle here too to show that height is perpendicular to both those. Now, the reason we use this area of the base times the height is, and the reason this formula works, you notice right here, is because of this. If we were to cut this right here at this altitude, we call it, or where this height's drawn in, we could take that triangle that is formed and slide it over here, and we get a rectangle. We haven't lost any area, but we have a rectangle that is the same. So if we could cut that, it doesn't matter where we cut it, we could cut it anywhere here. As long as we cut it perpendicular to these two sides, we could slide those pieces over and join them on these other slant sides here, and we would form a rectangle. And so that's why we can use the area equals the base times the height. So the base and the height. Again, the height, unlike a rectangle, is not part of the parallelogram. The base is, but the height is not part of the parallelogram. Where a rectangle, both the base and height are part of the, the sides of the rectangle. Okay, so if we look at this one right here, so let's go ahead and find this one. So if we want to find the area of this one, we could put it in here. So we have a base of 10. The way I know this one's the base is it's perpendicular to the height. So we just end up with our area is our base times the height. So we just end up with 10 times 8. So we would go through those. So our area is equal to just 10 times 8, which would give us 80. Okay, and so we could go ahead and type that in. This is just a little practice one that Con has set up. We could check that and go through it. Now, it doesn't matter which way it's oriented. This one becomes our base. Even though there's not a number here, we know that these two are parallel. They are the same length. So if this is 3 here, this one's 3 here. And since this one's perpendicular, that means this one has to be perpendicular. So it would just be 6 times 3. So we end up with 18. Okay, so that's what we're doing with these. Now, what you're going to see on some of these is they're going to give you the slant height a lot of the time. Just realize that has absolutely nothing to do with find the area of a parallelogram. So let's go ahead and look at some of the actual problems they give us in Con and see, just like I said, this one actually has it here, okay? So we end up with, we got to decide. So our height here and our base is the one that's perpendicular to it. So it ends up being 3. So we end up with 7 times 3. So that's what we'd have to do to get it. Okay. So our area would be equal to, 7 times 3, which would give us 21. Now, this 8 has nothing to do with it. You got to be aware of that. They're going to give you that slant height, and it has nothing to do with it. So our answer for this one would just be 21. And we just type that in. We don't have to worry about units because they put the units there for us, knowing that these are square units. Okay. Good luck with these. Let me know if you have any questions. Contact me or your teacher if you do. Good luck with these. Have a good day.